What's up, guys? This is Logan. I got Gary Sheffield Jr. with me on Three Cool Things. We're gonna dig a little bit into his life and kind of see some of the cool things that he's got to do. Um, Want to make a small introduction, let everybody know, what you got going on, what you got on social media, stuff like that.
Yeah, so for right now, social media is really the only platform I've got going because nobody can do anything other than be online. So for me right now, I'm just, get my opinion out there the same way most other people would. And of course, I hope my own opinion sticks. I'm a really strong opinion person, just the way my dad is. So I'm trying to leave my impression on the game, and hopefully we can start to entertain and have me get on camera so my opinion can be heard by more people. That's the goal, obviously, and then to positively influence the game. So there's plenty of people that are trying to do the same thing, but I'm definitely trying to leave my mark.
Most definitely. So for my viewers and obviously, people are going to put two and two together with Gary Sheffield Jr. That's the name speaks for itself. We'll get into that a little bit later on, but more so, tell what are you doing right now? What do you do for a living? I think you got a pretty cool gig. I want everybody else to know what you got going on.
Yeah, so I just took over and hosting and co-hosting a show with Lakers Nation. And so we have a huge broadcast with Facebook, and we use through Facebook, but we have other platforms through YouTube and other platforms as well. But we have a very big audience. I mean, there's 3-4 million people that follow the channel. We have a very interactive group, which we love, and we're trying to really monetize it, and then we can grow on it as soon as we can really start to get our legs underneath us. So we're really looking forward to this whole monetization process so we can really start pumping that money right back into the program and really maybe start opening up a studio and start doing other types of things that can really help production. So we're really looking forward to when sports finally does come back, because that's of course where we make our money and that's where we can grow the show. But for now, it seems like everything's on hold. So it's almost like everyone's lives are literally frozen in time. So it's hard to see that, but we know at some point sooner rather than later that something's going to happen.
So I'll kind of bring everybody up to speed too. As far as the Laker Nation, what we're talking about is the Los Angeles Lakers as well.
Yeah.
That's so you're living where are you living? You out
I'm
of
in
California?
Arizona.
You're in Arizona.
Yeah, we're in Arizona. So we've got a studio here,
Yep.
and we do our post game shows. We usually do it after every Lakers game. It's
Okay.
late at night, and we still have 30-40,000 people watching live, which is pretty cool. And that should grow, and we're planning on that growing. And especially as we increase the production, the way the production is, like we figure, I mean, it seems like the median for production now these days with all the cameras everyone's got, it's pretty good, but we know that we can have so much room for improvement. The same way that I'm sure you're going to be doing the same thing we're going to be doing
Yeah.
with your own show. So we're looking forward to it, and we see the ceiling being just, I mean, as Michael Jordan would say, the roof's the ceiling.
Yeah. There you go. I
Yeah.
I hope I have dreams of it being like that. I'm nowhere
Yeah.
near millions or even 30,000 or anything like that with people following. Hopefully,
Yeah.
but you know what the cool part is people like yourself and other people that come on here that do have good platforms when they share it and stuff like that to
Yeah.
help out. You know how the game's played. So eventually, I'm hoping to get there. That's the goal with it all. But
Yeah, the people that do a good job, they usually rise to the top anyways. Those are the people that usually connect. People like that are running your show, those are the type of people that end up connecting. So I have no doubts.
man, I appreciate that, man. Well, so this kind of leads into this now that we're talking about the Lakers and everybody knows about that. With your show, who's the coolest person you ever got to interview?
The coolest person for me is my uncle Dwight Gooden. And he was my favorite person to interview because, I mean, he really inspired me to pick up a baseball, him and my dad, of course. So for me to be able to sit down and interview him and talk about the game and talk about injuries in the game, that's what we were talking about. We were speaking on why guys are getting hurt so often. And he was saying that the physical fitness is very important in baseball, but also the endurance of baseball and mechanics. And that's being lost in the game. It's now just velocity instead of worrying about how is my body going to be able to manage playing this long of a season? How am I going to hold up throughout this long course of the season? And these players aren't really considering that. They're trying to be the best possible player they can be just in that given day without thinking about the future and how they can impact their team. So when I was able to interview him, I didn't expect to get those type of answers because he doesn't have to give in-depth answers. He can give very bland bland answers and be right in the middle. And he really gave me something strong. And that's why, for me, it was the best interview I had.
What I mean, and like I said, we'll get more into it later on as we go. But it's like you can't help but say it. Like, what a family, bro. Like, man, you got
Yeah.
like, I mean, come on, man. Like, from a baseball family, like, how much better can it get than Gary Sheffield, Dwight Gooden? Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So,
It was the culture of it.
I mean, that's not so. As far as ball went, how far did you play? What was the highest level that you got to? Where did you end up finishing at?
So I went into junior college, and when I was in junior college, I actually got hurt after committing to Florida State. And so once I got hurt, I took a couple months off, and I had a bunch of different grade issues that I was dealing with. So I wasn't able to actually pursue my baseball career the way I planned.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I wasn't so much caught up in trying to follow my dad's footsteps in baseball. I really just wanted to make sure that I'm impactful with my life. And
Absolutely.
Judging based on the path that I'm trying to go on right now, if I can continue to grow that and improve myself, that if I end up getting in TV and making a big career of it, I would be very proud of that. And no matter where I go, I want to be the best of wherever I go. So, and I've never really had to be a baseball player or anything in that matter. So, and my dad made sure as well that I didn't put that type of pressure on myself. He does that throughout everybody in our family. He's like, listen, you can go try to be the best at whatever it is you decide to be. You don't have to put that type of pressure on yourself. And I never put it on myself.
And that's cool. And like, and from having a relationship with him and getting to be around him too, like I see how he is with your brothers as well. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
he's not forcing it, but he's going to give you every opportunity
Yeah.
you want. Like, I mean, if there's something baseball related that could help you, he's going to give you guys that opportunity. And then, like, I mean, it's cool to see that you don't necessarily have to play at the level, and filling those shoes was going to be darn near impossible anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's like you don't have to play at that level to still be contributing, like you said, and
Right.
still sharing love for the game and being passionate about it. But that's awesome. So I guess with having the job title and the things that you're doing now, also being the son of future Hall of Famer and a celebrity, who's the coolest person you ever met?
It's easily Derek Jeter. Derek Jeter was the one guy. And what was funny is when my dad was playing in LA,
Mm-hmm.
I was really dealing with Ricky Henderson a lot. I was seeing him a lot around the field, and he was always throwing me batting practice and all types of stuff. And it really went over my head what was happening and how cool that really was. But once I actually started to get older, and my dad always has a pretty good idea, usually try to feel it out, which guys I want to be introduced to. And some guys he'll say nothing, but he knew as soon as we went to New York, he's like, okay, somebody wants to meet you. He knew I'd been talking about Jeter for a while. I'd always been talking about Derek Jeter, never met the guy. And so we show up to a shoe store in New York City, and I'm sitting there wondering, I'm sitting there thinking something bad's going on outside the shoe store because they closed down the store when we went in there so that nobody else could go in. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden I look out onto the street and there's just a huge commotion. I thought something was horribly wrong. And evidently there was some guy hopping out of the car, and he had like a mask on his face, and he was just covering his face. And he walks into the shoe store, and it was Derek Jeter. And that was really the first time I got to meet him. And I basically said like maybe 2 or 3 words. And I always had this idea of what I was going to say and all the questions I would ask him. Had nothing. Like, it was the one time where it was a larger than life figure. So I was very happy, to say the least. And I'm very happy that I was able to be introduced and then now call him a friend.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So you've been able to get him on any of your shows, or put plans for that down in the future?
Haven't tried yet. He agreed to be on the show. I haven't extended that out to him, because of course I was trying to get the show up and running as soon as this whole thing started to freeze. We're doing the same thing with Bob Menery and a couple other guys, but now that sports aren't going, I've kind of put it on hold until things could get normal again.
I got you. I would make sure you stay on top of that one. You're a friend of his, but still, you don't want to. That's like when somebody tries to pay you. Go get that money.
Absolutely. I'm on board with that. So I definitely want to make sure that there's some type of sports content, because for right now, a lot of what the owners are dealing with, especially guys in Derek Jeter's shoes, is they're dealing with a lot of pressure of how they're dealing with their employees, and there's a lot of stress. involved in their job right now. So I definitely want to bring him in when it's more the light terms. That's what I'd say.
Absolutely, and it's crazy, but I had Reed Breniak on one of my shows, and we were talking about Jeter, him playing with Jeter, and I played middle infield growing up too. It's like we said he's the Michael Jordan of baseball, like
Right.
as far as every kid wants to be him, but we talked about the biggest thing with him was like just how he stayed out of trouble. You never heard about any problems that guy had, and but that makes sense, wearing a mask around New York,
Yeah.
then doing things low key. So it's as far as having somebody up there to look up to, there's none better than Derek Jeter.
Yeah, no, he's definitely the right guy, and he seemed like the type of person from the outside looking in. Like it was more, there's no way he could be that way all the time. He's got to probably turn it on and off. Derek Jeter literally was that guy. If you go to the golf course, he's the exact same way. It literally is how he is. If you look at a lot of these guys in the league today, there's some guys like Aaron Judge, and not to say that he's not like that all the time, but there's some guys you can tell have modeled their off the field personality after Derek Jeter, and that's a good thing.
Yep.
But it is very hard to consistently, for 20 years in the New York media, be able to withhold that exact personality and that exact responsibility of being really a great person throughout that entirety of your career when you don't have to be. Really hard. So I was very pleased with obviously what Derek Jeter ended up being and who he finished out being. He played a perfect career.
And not to mention too, guys got every girl in the world wanting to be with him, and
exactly.
He's single, and he doesn't get any trouble with anything. Like
I don't understand it.
I don't get it either. So, but I'm sure he had a great. I can't wait to listen to your show with him. Put it that way.
Yeah. Because I think at the time he was with Jessica Alba when I was introduced to him. So I'm like, how's this guy, like, he's doing everything. Shortstop of the Yankees, dating Jessica Alba. He had the perfect life. He reminded me a lot of what we're seeing with Tom Brady right now, where it's like everything is just calculated and he's doing things the right way. It was really impressive. He's just, even if you don't end up being a baseball player, you want to be the Derek Jeter of whatever it was.
Absolutely. So, well, kind of like break up something before we go to the third question. But as far as social media and stuff goes, how old are you two, by the way? Just so everybody knows as well.
I'm 26.
26, man. Like, hey, well spoken, bright young man. Like, you got a heck of a future ahead of you, my friend. So it's awesome to see. Just because you didn't do it on the baseball field, you're able to make it over here. So.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. And I can't believe I'm 26 already, to be honest with you. I can't believe it. As soon as I turned 21, time flew. But I'm trying to do something before I'm 30 and see what we can do. And obviously I'm trying to push the clock as much as I can. But as I know, a lot of these opportunities, whether it's in media or creating a great show for people to enjoy, really, really hard to get to stick. So I try to go whatever direction I can. So you never know. So I take every opportunity I can.
Most definitely. So what, as far as social media goes, what do you have for social media? What are your platforms? How does everybody that watches this show turn around and follow you and see what you got going on?
Yeah. So I got lucky. Gary Sheffield Jr. was available on Twitter, Instagram, and my dad had issues when he first got into Twitter. I told my dad initially, I was like, you need to get a Twitter. And so when he was trying to sign up for Twitter, somebody else already had his username, which I guess you could assume they would do. And then TBS had to go grab it. But for me, it's just Gary Sheffield Jr., no spaces or anything. So it's nice and easy on every platform. Twitter, Instagram. I really only use two. Yeah. Twitter seems to be my home.
Okay, cool. Well, so like I said, I'm gonna make it short and sweet for you. I appreciate you being on the show. Third question here that I got for you. What is the coolest place you ever traveled to?
Oh, the Bahamas. My dad actually had a house there, and we were able to like really embrace stay at the Atlantis Hotel and do everything. Golf. I mean, the golfing in the Bahamas was beautiful. I mean, unbelievable. And that was before I was even decent at the game of golf. Now I play all the time. So I hope that I could play there again while I'm actually a real golfer. But just some of the neighbors, Michael Jordans, Tiger Woods, it's a lot of really cool people that I idolized growing up. And just to have them that close, to be able to travel and see them up that close was really cool for me. It was definitely, Bahamas has got to be I've only been to like California, Arizona, Mexico. It's got to be the Bahamas.
We go down there every year, stay at the Atlantis. I mean,
Yeah.
there's nothing better. And I know, wait, you guys are on Paradise Island or whatever.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. I remember talking to him about that over there. So I mean, that's crazy. It's so star-studded. But yeah, Bahamas is beautiful. Speaking of that, golf wise, what are you shooting? Where are you at now?
It's really a tough question because I'm like my handicap's like about a 7,
Yeah.
but it's somewhere between a 7 and a 10. It basically it fluctuates because every once in a while I'll tell someone it's a 7, so they'll invite me out, and then I'll go out there and shoot an 83. They're
Oh
like,
yeah, yeah,
"Who are you supposed to be?"
yeah.
But when I played with my dad, I played really good. I barely lost to my dad, but I'm still holding off hope I'm going to beat him because he always plays out of his mind every time I play with him.
I obviously I was able to being friends with your dad, knowing your dad, golfing with your dad. Great dude, man. First and foremost, and I'm sure everybody, like we said earlier, Gary Sheffield is a household name. So I mean, everybody probably put 2 and 2 together right out of the jump with that, anyways. But I'm fortunate enough to golf with him. I'd be lying if I said there's not times where I stop and I got to pinch myself and I'm like, man, this is crazy. Like I remember watching this dude on TV and being the man, But I caddied for him at Bay Hill, and we had, you have a pro on your team as well, and a pro-am. We had Lucas Glover. He went out there and the chef shot lights out at Bay Hill, and they won the dang thing. On top, I mean,
that sounds like him.
But then I've also it's not airing his stuff out. I've also been out with him too, where he can't hit a fairway. But I tell him all the time, if you want to see him play good, just put something on the line. You put something on the line, or you put somebody behind him. It's like when the lights come on, he loves it and he's ready to go with all that.
Yeah, no, the last time we were in Vegas, we were there for my brother's baseball tournament. We decided to play a round of golf, and I'm sitting there thinking, okay, it's going to be some nice leisure activity. We're just going to be shooting the breeze. This dude's like, hey, let's put $100 on the round. And he's out there playing like he's game 7 of the NBA finals. Like this dude was locked in. He was lining up every putt, laying on the ground, trying to line up like shots. I'm like, this guy literally it's just his personality is to be the best at everything. And that's something that's rubbed off on all of his kids. It's rubbed off on a lot of us. And I have other people in my family, my mom and my grandpa as well, who have also rubbed off in that way, where they completely buy into the fact that whatever you're doing, if it's baseball or not, you need to go dominate whatever that is. And he's that way in golf, and that's why he's good. That's the personality of people, the Michael Jordans, a lot of the guys who really care about being the best at whatever. You see it in Derek Jeter too, where he wants to go be the best. You want to go be the best in baseball management. Well, those type personalities fit really well no matter where they go, because they have the ability to make their adjustments and be self-accountable. My dad is the most accountable person like that really I've ever seen on a golf course. So he's constantly, if he plays like crap with you, believe me, he's there at the range the very next day. He won't tell you he's there, but he's there. Yeah. And that's just something that's rubbed off.
Oh, I mean, he's got that killer instinct. And like, I coach baseball now, so it's kind of like it's hard to teach dog. Like if you got it, you don't. And he's just got it. Like he wants to try and kick your butt at whatever he does, whether it's for $10, $100. There's always going to be something on it. But I try and I'm not up there in that financial bracket with him, so I try and stay down there.
Yeah. I'll give him credit. He didn't take my money in Vegas when he beat me.
There you go. I mean, that's nice of him. I don't think he necessarily needed it, probably. So
yeah, that's what I told him. I was like, I don't have to pay you, dude. And he was like, yeah, you do. And then I never gave him the money. So hopefully he doesn't see this.
Yeah, I'm sure he will, and then he'll hold you accountable to it down the road.
Oh yeah.
Or make you go double or nothing with the next one.
He will.
Yeah, but like I said, man, I think it's super cool. My whole thing behind it is sharing cool experiences and stories, and branching out with different people and letting everybody see what other people got going on in life. And I didn't want to. His name was going to come up at some point, but I wanted it to be based on you and what you have going on, because it's super cool job. I wish nothing but the best for you. I hope that show blows up, and hopefully I'm able to come back and we have 3 cool questions down the road that we're able to link back up with again after all you got it all set up over there.
I don't doubt it at all. And I'll tell you one thing, if the show does blow up, I promise you I will use part of our budget to invest in myself into a jacket just like that one. I promise you that.
Oh, you got to get one of these?
I do. I absolutely do.
Yeah. That's what our travel baseball team. Your dad's always asking us about our stuff too. One thing we do, they might kick our butt, but we're gonna look all right. So
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. Me and my dad love Miami, so
yeah,
that jacket's a must.
yeah, most definitely. Well, like I said, man, I really, really appreciate you coming on. Hope to have you back on down the road. I'll share all this stuff on social media. If you don't mind sharing, putting it out. Got to give a shout out to my sponsors, Cypress Creek Golf Course, which is in Ruskin. So when you're ever in Florida, out Tampa area, I got you over there, man. Anytime you want to go. Another sponsor, Deep Sleepwear Sports. They're Deep Sleep hoodies, deepsleepwear.com. Try and get you one of those. We got your dad on board with those too, so I'll try and shoot some of those over to you. So, like I said, I appreciate the time. Look forward to watching you continue to grow, man.
Anytime, brother. Just let me know.
All right, hey, like I said, we got to get on the links. So let me know.
We will.
All right.
All right, brother.
All right, see you, dude.